What is to be shared today?
Swamiji, surrender with the
That's right. Surrender. Surrender, in your own discussion, in your own reading, it will help us. Unless the reflection goes deeply, because it is not a thing to be gained. You have to realize that these words are coming from you. It's a tough job. Making good friends. The third is somehow try to keep on reminding the mind that view everything to him, not as a mechanical repetition. As much as possible, we try to identify the only we can go with. Yesterday we were talking about a particular soda, mark or whatever. Every time you start thinking, everything has been provided to give us a human birth. We did not plan for a human birth or human birth. You have given us, you have been giving up to us. You have given us also the field. Somehow these are repetition of the words. Trying to become aware of his bounteous gifts. Then only we will know that the role of sense of individuality is only to enjoy the subservience and carry out the promptings he gives us, which we normally lectures. But ultimately what happens? Have we surrendered? So we have to find out some practical technique of remembering him with gratitude. It is difficult easily because it is not easy to do that because so far we have allotted, we have assigned many roles for us, independent of the Almighty Lord. We try to remember him when we are doing Ramnam, we try to remember him when we are in the bhajan, we try to remember him when we go to a temple, when we remember him when we go to an ashram, at least for a few seconds or a few minutes. Otherwise we are back to our me and mine, that is the blunt truth. And this me and mine wants to surrender, that's all. But so long as it is there, it's difficult. In the sense, so long as it feels that it has a domain of its own, that expression might be very more clear. It feels that it has a domain of its own. And how can we expect the surrender to take place? So let us not bother about the textual meaning of surrender. Let us try this one. Anything and everything in our heart, we don't have to calm down. As much as possible throughout the day. Anything and everything. Nama chanting, that is like Papa used to say, no, to remember him, to remember him, to remember him, we have to chant. Constantly, constantly, constantly. We hear that, we are not constantly chanting. It's not possible for us, not that we don't want. So what is the next alternative? Whenever we are not chanting, we can try to bring in this dimension. Everything has its origin in him only. Yesterday we were talking about 10 or 11 slokas. The very purpose of it, when you keep on reflecting upon it, then we say, oh, everything is relating. So the role which I feel I am doing, I am thinking, I am talking, I am planning, we may say at least in 101 we may be able to realize it is not that I am doing it. We don't know that power, I don't exist. Studying the 11 slokas, you don't know how many remembers. Not only that he was emphasizing that he is the eternal seed, he is also the life force, he is the consciousness, he is the intelligence. He is the life force, he is the consciousness, he is the intelligence. An individual exists because of these three, no? If my heart doesn't beat, I will not be there to ask this question answer. If the blood circulation stops, I will not be here to answer it. If the digestion doesn't take place, then I will be in the hospital or take somewhere home. If the breathing stops, finished, I will not be there. It's a simple thing. Which is the power behind that? I have no role in this, I have no control over this, I don't have anything with this. But because of that only, the so-called I comes. And then, the knowing principle in us, the knowing principle. We know that we are talking, we know that we are hearing, we know that we are sitting, we know that we are seeing. The knowing principle is called consciousness. If that is not there, I don't exist. Everything that I feel, not 100%, everything that makes my life comfortable has come out of intelligence only. Like that, I want during my boss moment, suppose I keep on thinking about it. When I look around, when I see any information, suppose I try to see the attribute behind it. So, we are trying to recognize the existence of the power in us. If that is taken up with all sincerity, probably our efforts to surrender will get hastened. Otherwise, we have to textual interactive session. That's it. It doesn't help us so far. Because surrender is something Papa keeps on harping. We have been associating with Papa's thoughts for the past many decades. We haven't still surrendered. So hearing will not help. Unless I do something to set myself on a process of recognizing his role in me first. Papa used to even say, how does your nail grow? How does your hair grow? Simple thing. Are you doing 5 plus 10 fingers? I need our food. And again, if those we have any extra every now and then we do that. Indians, we go for hair cutting. Very 15 days or 20 days. No, we do anything for the growing of the hair or the growing of the nails. Simple thing. I will read for Swami the purpose of that particular one. You always have worry, but still, now that this question has been asked. What does spirituality mean? During his foreign tour, he delivered this. What does spirituality mean? That is the question. That which relates to the spirit and the experience of the spirit is spirituality. Because spirit and matter are two different things. Our body is material, and the spirit dwelling in this body is spiritual. So whatever relates to the spirit within us is spiritual. We must think, feel and realize that we are not merely bodies, but we are immortal spirit. Many people go with the impression that they are only the visible appearance, they are the body made up of the 5 elements. It is not true. There is the spirit within us. It is that spirit that makes us walk, talk and do everything. Now, for instance, people think when they give and receive with their hands that they are doing these movements and these actions themselves as if they got an independent power to do these things. There are so many movements and changes that are going on within the body, such as the digestive organs, the blood circulation, the growth of the hair, etc., etc. We cannot say these things are done by me. When we say I am doing these things, who is responsible for these movements within us? The same power which is responsible for these inner movement is responsible also for our outer movements. We see the wind blow, the sun giving light, the trees grow, the birds sing on the trees. So many movements and changes are going around about us. They are not separate movements caused by any power of individual in them. Working accidentally or by chance, or as they say, due to the concourse of atoms or some such things. They explain away in order to deny the existence of spiritual power that permeates the entire universe and is responsible for all movements and changes in it. That all-pervading power it is that makes act, talk and do everything. If we recognize this universal power and know that that power is responsible for what we do, then our ego will disappear and we will be one with the universal life and universal truth, and we will be happy and free. That all-pervading power is that makes act, talk and do everything. Now and here, we have not recognized that. If we recognize this universal power and know that that power is responsible for what we do, then our ego will disappear. Surrender. And we will be one with the universal life, universal truth, and we will be supremely happy. So long as this ego is in us, which makes us feel that we are everything ourselves, we are caught in a trap. We can never be happy. So we have been asked to resign ourselves to the will of God. Will is nothing but the power of God active in nature, active in ourselves. Power, power, power. By surrendering ourselves to the divine power and will, we will release within us that supreme bliss and peace which is locked up. So long as this ego is in us, which makes us feel that we are everything ourselves, we are caught in a trap and we can never be happy. So we have been asked to resign ourselves to the will of God. What is will of God? Will is nothing but the power of God. Active in us, active in nature. The one which makes our heart beat, the one which makes our blood circulate, the one which makes our digestion muscle, the one which makes our breathing. The one which makes us to think consciousness. So reflection necessary. This here placed before using many a time. As soon as he entered this home.
We have discussed this many times. We have discussed this many times.
But still it's not going inside.
It's not going inside. Whenever a situation arises, then the question of profit.
So we are asking this question. How am I to absorb this? Words of God. So long as this ego is in us, which makes us feel that we are everything ourselves, we are caught in a trap and we can never be happy. So we have been asked to resign ourselves to the will of God, which is called surrender. Will is nothing but the power of God active in us, active in nature. By surrendering ourselves to the divine power and will, we will release within us that supreme bliss and peace which is locked up. Through this, the ego and the individual will disappear. Through this, the ego and the individual will disappears. People have asked him often, Papa, what about the free will? And how does it stand in relation to the divine will? Really, there is no free will. There is only divine will working everywhere. It's a mistake to think that we have got any power to do anything. This we can only read.
When things work in our favor, we feel God's will. When it doesn't work in our favor, we still don't understand that surrender. Then God's will we don't understand at that time.
You have to devise some method. We have diagnosed our problem. Very definite. All of us have diagnosed our problem. But the right remedy we have not given. And the remedy is not the same for everybody. Each one has to find out the remedy. We are guided by the remedies given to us by masters, by others, but we have not been able to live up to it. We agree, we have faith, we want that, but we have not been able to do it all these years. Individual will is becoming stronger and stronger rather. Now, so we have to turn inward and then pray to you. You show me a method suiting to my temperament. A general prescription has not helped. Normally, we all are guided by suppose we get a headache or fever, we go for paracetamol. If it doesn't we naturally go for some advice, doctor or something. Similarly, our experiment, no doubt, it starts with our experiment only. Self-medication, so many things we do in ourselves. If somehow God helps us in it, getting over it, we are satisfied. But when it doesn't work, we are the sufferer now, so we cannot afford to put it off. Then we go to experts, not right. Then he will also prescribe something and watch. He will not say that watch. That means each man's constitution is different. Body, mind, everything is different. So he is also a trial and error when we go for outside. In spirituality, nobody can prescribe anything from outside. That is the blunt truth. We have to rely on the power which is within. We have to seek guidance from within. That's what he says. People have asked him often, what about the free will? How does it stand in relation to the divine will? Really, there is no free will. There is only divine will working everywhere. It is a mistake to think that we have got any power to do anything. In the Bhagavad Gita, there is a sloka in which God says, it is my will and power that pervades through the entire earth. And to know this means myself causing on movements in it, changes in it. So he is at the inception, at the growth of things, at the destruction of things. Adi answer. Adi Madhyama and Anta. He is there at the inception, growth and destruction. It is one power that does all these things in the universe. And if we submit to that power and know that the power is active in us, then we will be freed from the ego. At that moment we realize we are the unchanging, immortal, all-pervading, spiritual and universal truth and spirit. It is one power. So it is the inception and the growth of things and the destruction. It is one power that does all these things in the universe. And if we submit to the power and know that the power is active in us, now and here, no? That is something that we will try to know. Now and here. That is why these words are coming. That is why these words are heard. Then we will be freed from the ego. At that moment we will realize that we are the unchanging, immortal, non-pervading, spiritual, universal truth. To know that we are the spirit is to know you, God. This is spirituality. So our trial path, we will try to make it more and more effective. And along with that, He will prompt us to take up anything. But we should know whether we are working in the office, running a family, involved in social activities, whether we are chanting, whether we are doing control of the mind, whatever we are doing, everything is done with the power. Previously we were thinking the spirituality is confined within certain activities. So there are many activities where the dimension does not go. 5 or 10% of our total activity, we will have certain things of spiritualism, and the other as worldly activities. So you have not been able to bridge this. That is the feeling with which we all started our life and lived our life for a quite long time. Even now with all this, many of us or most of us are unable to link with this in our every moment's life. So this could be the primary reason why we are not being able to move towards this side. Because then this aspect only we'll keep it only for hearing. It is registered in our mind, we can reproduce it. It is a knowledge. Plenty of knowledge we have now memorized. But at that time we get some thrill. But immediately after that, we are back to our usual mindset of segregating or separating worldly and spiritual. So these worldly things, which are 95%, does not bring this God dimension. Only I have them. We are chanting universal prayer, we are chanting prayer for the world to please be Swami, Bhakti Maharaj. Everything we do, lot of Ragnar. We hear bhajans, touching bhajans. Everything is there. Okay, then what happens? When I deal with men and matters, what happens? I am unable to hold on to this. So this knowledge is only during that particular labeled periods. Otherwise, this knowledge is not stepping in. Even when somebody is kind towards us, when we see somebody is selfless, somebody is holding on to personal, moral, ethical values, we appreciate them. We develop respect towards them, and we only see them as an individual. They are also we attribute only to that individual. He is a great person. Many of us have met so many Mahatmas in our life. So this Mahatma is attributed to that individual. When we say Papa, when we say Mataji, but again it is such many Mahatmas. We have great respect for them. We love them, we regard them. But that is even only to them as an individual. Because we have treated ourselves as an individual. But going through these words of Papa, when we are able to reflect that these words are coming because of the power inside, and when we get a taste of it, then only we will be able to understand anybody doing this, or that power is going through them. When you see a rose, you see different types of flowers. Who is behind that? The chief architect behind this. When we look at the sky, the different types of shapes, colors, who is behind that? When we see the breeze going past the trees, because how the breeze goes, we only see the tree, the power behind that. taste. Like that. We are only seeing them, not that we are blind to this. We appreciate them, we have reference from our discussion individuals. But it is limited only with that individual. That is why we say my guru, your guru, everything, We have not understood what guru is. So it is high time now, whenever we see Bhagavad Gita, he says, wherever there is pleasure, there I am more expressive. I am more explicit. So like that means, so whenever he makes us to come in contact or get in touch with a person who stands for values. Values means between his values. Whoever has got this quality and concern for other creations. Let us not stop our adoration to that individual. No, through that individual only we are aware. But we should also know that individual has gone. But still he is there living in us, How does he live in us? Many of us would not have seen Papa even. But he is living in us now. What does it mean? Many individuals we have seen they have dropped their body, we don't remember them. We may remember them only when their reference is made, that's all. So wherever there is pleasure, wherever there is greatness, we remember. And greatness or goodness is God. That we don't know. We attribute it to the individual only. We were also reading, remember the words of Peace Pilgrim. She has defined what God is. God is the creative force, the sustaining. God is the creative force, the sustaining, that which motivates towards constant change. The overall intelligence which governs the universe, metaphysical and spiritual law, truth, love, goodness, kindness, beauty, the ever-present all-pervading essence of spirit, which binds everything in the universe together, gives life to everything in the universe. That's wonderful. This is the power which Papa was telling. So wherever there is pleasure, we are telling us, we remember. Love, goodness, kindness, beauty. That is why we, even after the shedding their body, they continue to live with us. God is the creative force, the sustaining power. Whatever this body activities, heartbeat and all those things we are telling, that is the sustaining power. Creative force is there. I have not created myself. And all the sustaining power also, I have no role in it. And that which motivates towards constant change. The overall govern the universe by physical and spiritual law. Truth, love, goodness, kindness, beauty, the ever-present, all-pervading essence of spirit, which binds everything in the universe. They are all interconnected and interrelated. So to have this concept clear, then only the surrender will become. Then we don't need this word surrender. When this truth penetrates into our brain, whatever comes out of our body, mind, intellect, is an expression of the power. This is what we learn from Papa's life. So people like us who are not fully concentrating throughout our waking time on this question will again come, you will get an answer, again the question will come, you will get an answer, because it stays only in the question answer session. Whereas this reflection is not going on, concentration, meditation, absorption. Only when the absorption takes. So we now pray to Him, who has taken us thus. From nothing, He has taken us to some stage now. And He is making us conscious, complete. So we pray to Him now. Please trigger this moment. We feel we have started the journey. With that feeling you are given. But guide us at every moment. Otherwise the mind looks back on its own old norms. So while chanting the name, give us that mindset. Where the truth is hammered, now but not repeatedly hammered. And that is why today He is bringing out these two, God is love. Whenever you reach out in loving kindness, you are expressing God. God is truth. Whenever you seek truth, you are seeking God. God is beauty. Whenever you touch the beauty of a flower or a sunset, you are touching God. God is the intelligence that creates all, sustains all, binds all together and gives life to all. Clear cut, clear cut. Yes, God is the essence of all. So you are within God, God is within you. You are within God, God is within you. Vishwati. You are within God, God is within you. God is the great void in which we are. But at the same time, He is within us. The form of His power. You could not be where God is not. Remain in God is the law of God, physical law, spiritual law. Disobeyed, you feel unhappiness, you feel separated from God. Obeyed, you feel harmony, you feel close to God. As you live in harmony with the divine law, you will feel closer to and develop more love for God. Once again, we make a university. What is God? We lump together all things that are beyond the capacity of all of us collectively to understand. One name we give to all those things together is God. We lump together all things that are beyond the capacity of all of us collectively to understand. The power behind the sea, for example. The power behind the sea, the hearing, the tasting, the touching, the smelling, the thinking. The power behind that. So we name it, some name has to be given. We have to put it. God. In Indian philosophy, they give Atman, Brahman, Almighty Lord of the universe, indwelling reality, all-pervading reality, Sarvashaktiman, Sarvantaryami, Sarvajnan, Sarvavyapi, omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient. And then, therefore, God is the creative force. I don't have to go home to learn this, I have come. It's a solid proof. I am an individual. I don't know I am born, but I know that I am born to my parents because at the time of coming I did not know that. Later on I came to know that everybody is born, okay, and everybody has parents, okay, and their parents also are born to their parents, okay. So there must be the first starting point. So God is the creative force, there is the creative force, the sustaining power. I am existing because of the sustaining power. That which motivates you to constant change. I was a child, I was an adolescent, I was an adult, young, youth, middle-aged man, senior citizen, changes. I am not doing anything. Changes happen. So that which motivates you to constant change, the overall intelligence. We are uttering these words, because it's only language. Which I have not learned. I know that. Intelligence. Anything that I use, whether it is just you're sitting in a room, civil construction, you're sitting under light, you're using the laptop, where from it has come. 50 years or 100 years ago, many things were not there. Innovative, creative things. Intelligence. The overall intelligence which governs the universe by physical and spiritual law. Everything is governed by physical and spiritual law.
Swamiji, the Swamiji would like to ask one question, Swamiji.
Swamiji, actually, as you said, we totally surrender to God. We understand God.
I understand that we are totally surrendering to God, but
yeah, and then we don't really that long. So each of us all doing something moving from the wrong. Not thinking that I am doing it, but completely God is created to me. He's motivation. He's giving energy to do something. We work on something, okay. But sometimes don't know what is God's will. How do we know that we are not against God's will? And the next question is, we will talk about that our karma, each person, our karmas and then karma, whatever they are. So, until our karma effects are neutralized, we will not be able to see any results for whatever karma we have done. That's what I was saying. So, in this situation, one person can, I'm totally certain to life, I understand I'm totally thinking about it all the time, I'm doing the work, but still, I'm something. I'm dealing with constant uncertainty each and every day. So, am I doing something against God's will? Or is it the karma? My karma is what is going to say the results. I'm totally confused. Please.
Okay, that question will let me there. But let us try to approach the answer in this way. Who is raising this question? The sense of individuality. Does it have its meaning? Does it have its meaning of its own exist?
I'm talking about with my situation in mind.
He's talking plainly with his situation in mind. He's saying, in spite of surrendering to God, why does one have to suffer in life, have to face difficulties? Is it because of the karma, karmas and everything? All that is understandable. But in spite of that, when I pray to God and I surrender to God, why should there be any suffering?
We telling them surrender to. Actual surrender comes only when we realize that even now the power to say, the power to feel, I am unable to do that. Where from it comes? Because we are seeking an answer from outside. That we have been trying through so many things, through Shastras, through Mahatmas, through so many things, but still we feel we are not realized it. So that means the time has come for all of us to go back and see the reality within us. We look outside and see all these things. How does the word come out now? Which is the power? That is the power has clearly mentioned this, and
My question is,
behind the power.
my question is why God is not troubling his ways, even though I totally surrendered him.
We have not surrendered. Please. These are we are only telling we have not surrendered. We feel that we have surrendered. If we have surrendered, this question will not come in. What is
There's
surrender?
total acceptance and surrender. And
Surrender
something.
means only His will, not just what we heard, only His will means. That will need not be defined by us. Good, bad, this, that. Everything is His will. So that we have not surrendered. Surrender comes only when there is absolutely acceptance of everything. We feel that we are not.
When there is no questioning, Swamiji. When there is no questioning,
Question will not come. The moment He puts us this question, He wants us to get more and more clarity in this one. It cannot come from outside. Because the questioner, the power to raise this question, by raising this question, the power is directing the attention of the mind toward that. Questioning is not bad. That is also given by you. Let us try to understand that even the very questioning, the subject is trying to know about the subject. That is the problem. Subject can understand something, try to know something about an object, something other than that. When the subject itself is trying to know the subject, it is not possible with the help of the mind. Here the subject is prompting the mind to ask this question and to look at it. How do I see, for example, what is the power behind my eyes that sees? So the question becomes inward. When we have trained our mind to go inward, all the answers will come one by one. However much we try to get it from outside, it will never be complete because we have tried that in our life, How many Shastras, how many Satsangs, how many Mahatmas, how many disciplines we have undergone. And we have only again some thoughts in our mind. You have not still recognized him. So surrender is accepting everything as his will. There's no purpose in that. That means those words remain as words. So we are not praying, you are telling us, but we are unable to absorb it. Kindly help us. If it is possible, I would have done it. I am unable to do it.
Mentally to be surrender, actually you are not surrender, it's a story.
No. Surrender means you will not say I am surrender. Because it is the acceptance of everything as they are. And so many things we have read in the Shastras, so they all come and stand before this simple truth. We used to share in Satsang, one gentleman came, one elderly person, was about 50, 60 years old, one day to when Puja Swami Satsanji was there. We were also there at that time. So he came, he sat before Puja Swamiji and said, Swamiji, I really would like to experience the presence of God. I don't know Sanskrit, I don't know Shastras, I don't know any other things which normally people take to. And then he kept quiet. Immediately Swamiji said, 75% of the problem is over. Because these things only block us unknowingly. Whereas we have to start from this clean state. We should not say that, but this is what we see that. These are some knowledge, So that is why Swamiji spontaneously said 75% of your problem is over because you have not stuffed your mind with so many thoughts, so many norms, so many concepts, so many rights and wrongs, likes and dislikes. So he said, we try to develop this prayer, make me unable to see you and to feel your presence. Through chanting any name of God, who will feel and you will get it. So all these things we have done so far, it unknowingly influences. And the Papa puts it bluntly. It will be relevant to quote that also now. This is a very, very powerful thing. For realizing the truth, no external paraphernalia is necessary. This is what Swami said. Our knowledge, for realizing the truth, no external paraphernalia is necessary. No garb, no sign, no cult, no creed can help you. The day will come when you have to leave all these behind and go to meet the eternal in the perfect nakedness of your spirit. Spirit only, nothing else. Nakedness of your spirit. Shedding all make-believe forms, customs, traditions. Simplicity, spontaneity, humility become the guiding principles of your life. Spontaneity, what does it mean? Whatever he makes us to think, talk, and do, we do it. That's not very spontaneous. Submission to his will is a big word. to understand easily, spontaneity. We think, we act, not impulsive. Simplicity, spontaneity, humility become the guiding principles of your life. You move freely with all, you love all alike, you break all boundaries set by the calculating and selfish human mind. You soar like a free bird in the infinite expanse of the spiritual firmament. You look upon all beings and creatures as the embodiment of the one divine, all-pervading spirit. Temples, ashrams, mosques, churches, synagogues, viharas cannot imprison your soul. You find your soul delight and joy at all places, the best as well as the worst. This is the essence of spirituality. Now when we hear this and ponder over this, we know where we got stuck. For realizing the truth, no external paraphernalia is necessary. No God, no sign, no cult, no creed can help. The day will come when you have to leave all these behind. Go to be the eternal, in the perfect nakedness of your spirit. Shedding all make-believe forms, customs, traditions. Simplicity, spontaneity, humility become the guiding principles of your life. You move freely with all, you love all alike, you break all boundaries set by the calculating and selfish human mind. You soar like a free bird in the infinite expanse of the spiritual firmament. You look upon all beings and creatures as the embodiment of the one divine, all-pervading spirit. Temples, ashrams, mosques, churches, synagogues, viharas cannot imprison your soul. You find your soul delight and joy at all places, the best as well as the worst.